At least 4 people have been killed and more than 1 million have been evacuated in the Philippines as Typhoon Fung-wong made landfall there on Sunday night. It's the 21st typhoon to hit the Philippines this year and comes just days after Typhoon Kalmegi killed hundreds in central parts of the country. Joining me live from the Philippines is Mike Padua, also known as Mr Typhoon, a meteorologist who runs a YouTube channel that tracks typhoons. Mike, good to have you with us this evening. Now, you are in the Naga region, which was also on the path of Typhoon Fung-wong, or Uwan, where you call it there. What were the conditions like over the past 24 hours?
Yeah, good evening, Girish. And for the past 24 hours, the weather conditions here is being bombarded with very strong winds and heavy rainfall, which my weather station recorded up to 326.6 millimeters of 24-hour rain and winds gusting up to 116 kilometers. So there are lots of evacuation center has been full around the family of 6,673 with 24,799 individuals keep shelter around the different evacuation center in Naga. And right now, after a few hours of this, for the past 6 hours after the storm has passed, the flood waters has receded, and most of the family are returned back to their homes.
Yes, and so as the dust settles and in search and rescue operations continue, are we expecting to know more about the extent of the damage, and do we expect the number of casualties to rise, unfortunately?
And yeah, because today there is still some wind and rain because of the large circulation of the storm. Maybe tomorrow there are more reports from all over the country, and there are estimates about 5 to 6 billion pesos in damage brought about by this powerful typhoon.
Yes, and why was this particularly described as a super typhoon? What were the conditions by which this classification was given?
Yeah, our local Pag-asa has have a threshold for being a super typhoon at 185 kilometers per hour. Above that, it's called a super typhoon. But in other agencies like the U.S. Joint Typhoon Warning Center, they keep it at 240 kilometers because they are using 1 minute average, but Pag-asa is using 10-minute average.
Yes.
So that's the reason it's been upgraded into a super typhoon by Pag-asa.
Yes. So before Fung-wong, the region around Cebu was hit badly last week by Typhoon Kalmegi. Is it normal, for two massive typhoons to strike over, a very short span of time in the Philippines?
Yes, sir. Actually, for the past 48 years, 40 years of studying these typhoons since the 1940s, November and December, also from October, are common for back-to-back typhoons here in the country. And we have also one, what we've experienced way back in 1995, Typhoon Zack, which hit also the same path as of Kalmegi, and the Super Typhoon Angela, known as Rosing in the Philippines, which is also 280 kph, the same path with the track of Yuan.
Yes.
So it's common, yeah.
So, Mike, tell me, from your many years of studying typhoons, have you noticed any particular difference in the intensity and frequency of typhoons between now and what could have been, maybe 20 years ago?
Yeah, the one thing that I've noticed because of this climate change is they easily rapidly intensify because of intense oceanic heat content east of the country, increasingly and getting warmer each year because of this climate change. So this is the most critical part on why typhoons rapidly intensify at extreme level. And we have seen a large typhoon every decade, like this one, U1, spanning 1,500 kilometers across. In the past, it makes them hard to intensify because of the large system. But right now, this large system manages to rapidly intensify. So it's really this warm oceanic heat content caused by the global warming.
Yes, and is there an acknowledgement in Philippines, because I've read a bit about it, that this global warming is kind of human-induced?
Yeah, actually in the Philippines, they are really trying to preserve the environment, to keep things knowledgeable to the public, to lessen the use of fossil fuels. And right now, our country is trying hard to become uh, environmental friendly and be in touch with nature so that this kind of our help with the environment, although we are a small country, is can add up in saving our planet.
Yes, I was going to ask as well. I mean, is the Philippines, more resilient and better prepared for powerful typhoons like Kalmegi, Fung-wong, and given what we've seen in this typhoon, more than 1 million people were successfully evacuated, and that early warnings were given.
Yeah, actually, we have seen a much larger difference in the number of deaths since the last Super Typhoon Haiyan 12 years ago, and you can see the number of deaths right now. It's only 2 to 4. So let's hope that the Filipinos will remain resilient enough with this kind of intense typhoons.
Yes, and is it because that there's now, more people are getting access to early warning systems and the message is getting across? What sort of changed in that way since Typhoon Haiyan?
Yeah, there are lots of advanced technologies, and the local government units are being trained to be perform better when it comes to early warning. And because the culture of the Filipinos, that this it's up to God, something like that. They are prone to not doing evacuation, but right now, because of what we are seeing and because of social media, much Filipinos are now following the orders to evacuate. Yeah.
Okay, Mike Padua, we do have to leave it there, but really appreciate your insights on the program. Thank you so much.
Good.